Hi everyone, this week's Parshas Toldot. Last night I had the privilege of attending a Kina Shluchim, a gathering of all the emissaries of Chabad, over 5,000 of them, with their supporters in New Jersey. And it was a night of chizuk, of inspiration for all the selfless and tireless work that they do for every single Jew around the world. And I wondered, many of these emissaries were born after the Rebbe's passing, and yet the passion and devotion is alive and thriving. And I wonder, how'd the Rebbe do that? And I think there's a key, a small answer, a small insight to that in this week's parsha. Turn to chapter 26, verses 19, 21, and 22. Yitzchak is digging the wells that once belonged to his father. They were stopped up. And the first one gets dug, and it gets stopped up. He digs the second one, he moves, and he digs the second one. It gets stopped up by the local inhabitants. But finally, he moves, and he digs the third one, and it remains open. So Rabbi Lamb asked the following question: third time a charm? How come the first two didn't work? And he quotes Rabbi Joseph Baumel, who said, if you read the verses carefully, the first two were dug by the servants of Isaac. Isaac delegated the task. Only if you read the third verse, it's Isaac who then takes the shovel and digs. When a person delegates, if they're not passionate, if they don't have a stake in the game, highly unlikely that they will be successful. The Rebbe's total devotion to every single Jew in the world, his total devotion to his emissaries. Of course, the Rebbe couldn't be everywhere in the world, so he had to send and delegate people to do the job. But he started. It started with his devotion, his fire, his passion, and deep love and commitment to every single Jew, no matter where they were, and he modeled it. That's the power of a positive role model. And so now these emissaries, they themselves have become positive role models for their communities. Last night at the Kinos, they showed these inspiring, beautiful, moving videos of the shluchim who worked in Ukraine, and some of the communities that they built for years, gone. Or trying to save these people under the harshest of conditions, dangerous conditions, to give them hope. And again, there was no playbook for this. They just went and just did it, all thinking this is what the Rebbe would want us to do. So that's the power of having positive role models in our lives, but not just people who are positive role models, but people who actually, they don't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk. And every shliach that I've met, they're walking the walk. In Chassidus, we know that Mashiach will come when the well springs of Torah open to all. And I felt when I walked away last night from that gathering that the wells of Torah are being opened all over the world. We're one day closer to the Mashiach. Anyway, let us all be good, positive role models in our life. Let's show and model that passion and devotion for every single Jew. And hopefully, we'll be Zocha, as the last well is called Rechovot. And the Ramban says, it alludes to the third Beit HaMikdash. It'll be a place of openness, of freedom. May we see it speedily in our days. Shabbat Shalom, and if you like what you hear, pass it on.